Hi everyone, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you here from Hungary in Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a great week so far and looking forward to an even better rest of the week and weekend. In this class, everyone, we are looking at speaking part 1. We're going to do lots of practice. I'm going to give you feedback on your answers, and we're going to work towards those Band 9 kinds of answers and strategies. Hi, Violet Nguyen. Hi, Banshika, Manpreet, Juan Pablo. It's great that you made it on time. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the class. We have a full week of streaming for you today, all the way until Saturday. As usual, this class is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Definitely check us out there. And for the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. Make sure you're studying for the right version of the exam. Don't get confused. That's why we separate those into two different websites. This is speaking, so make sure to speak lots and repeat. Repeat what I say. Repeat not just answers, but also questions. That's really good practice. And of course, as many of you know, you do have a speaking practice available on the website. So when you log into your My Student account, you can access free student partner speaking with other students with video and voice chat. And you can also book practice speaking interview sessions with me as well. Our websites look like this. This is the academic here with the blue background. You can click that big red button to join the premium package. You can always click that little blue help button in the corner if you have questions. And this is our general IELTS website here with the green background at gieltshelp.com. You can click that big red button there. Rutman, there's nothing wrong with the lights. I'm using a short throw projector, interactive projector for this class to bring you this. And there's nothing wrong with the stream either. It's just super low latency. So we're basically in real time, which is kind of fun. But of course, it's not quite HD technology yet. One day when we all have fiber optics, hopefully soon, then we'll have some really high quality video for real time as well. Okay, Pea Basak says, I just got my results. Overall 7, 8 in listening, 7 in reading, 7 in speaking, writing 6.5. Thanks a lot, Adrian. I followed your classes regularly, and without your strategies, it wouldn't be possible. Pea, congratulations. If anybody wants, give Pea a big thumbs up. That's fantastic, Pea. Band 7 means that you have good command of English. That is something to be proud of. Thank you, Pea, for coming back and sharing. I always love to see those shares from our regular students. So fantastic. Good for you, Pea. And I wish you the best in your next steps, whether that's university or immigration. All right. If you have questions, you can reach me by email, adrian@aehelp.com. And of course, I will do my best to respond in less than 24 hours. Our schedule for these live classes, students, they're usually at this time. For members, we have a class a little bit earlier on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. And of course, it's according to Central European time. You can always check the schedule on our YouTube community posts, okay? This week, we'll have some task 2 later on, as well as reading and more speaking. Okay, everyone. So let's get into this. Some original questions, these kinds of questions. You could definitely get these on your next IELTS speaking interview. The speaking interview is about 12 to 15 minutes, and you sit face to face with an examiner, kind of like me. They could have a Canadian accent like me, or they could have a British accent, or they may even be non-native English speakers at times, just with really high-level English. Okay, so be ready for different kinds of accents. All right. Let's get into this a little bit. Let's just warm up. You get to your IELTS exam. You're staying calm. You prepared. You know you're there to do your best. Don't worry about the examiner, the faces they make, or the voice they use. Just pay pay attention to yourself. That's really important. And pay attention to your strategies. Go through your mental checklist before you walk into your speaking interview. So remind yourself that you need to speak in full, clear sentences. You need to connect ideas. You need to give smooth examples, good explanations to your answers. And of course, get to your exam early so that you can practice with some other people there. Don't be shy. It's a great way to build confidence. If you see other candidates waiting for their interview, approach them and say, hey, sorry, are you waiting for your interview in English? Okay. And then if they say, yes, I am, then say, hey, would you like to go over a few questions back and forth just to warm up a bit and build some confidence? If they say, no, I'm already super nervous, I don't want to do that, find somebody else and try again. Okay, so don't give up. All right, everyone. So here we go with some warm up for the speaking. You go into the interview. The examiner says, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. I will give you instructions for each of the 3 parts. Firstly, what is your full name? Okay, they'll always ask you that, and they're going to match it with your identification. So make sure to have a good answer for that. Okay, and I'll take questions later. I see lots of you have questions. We'll get into those as we go along. All right. So Nikhil says, my given name is Nikhil, and my family name is Paste. Please call me Nikhil. Very good, Nikhil. Simple, straight to the point, clear. You always want to start with no mistakes and good fluency, good natural language, okay? Janil says, my given names are Janil, Jayanti, and my surname is Gabani. Please call me Jay for short. Very nice, Janil. I like it. It's natural. Make sure you say that fluently, okay? When I'm reading your answers, I'm correcting them while I read as much as possible, of course. And I'm using a natural, fluent speed, okay? So if you don't catch it right away, don't worry. This video is recorded onto our YouTube channel, so you can go back later in the day or tomorrow and then try again and repeat, okay? All right. Carolina Asanyo says, my full name is Carolina Asanyo, as you will see in my passport. Please just call me Carolina. Very nice, Carolina. Nice to have you in the class. Abhay Nathani says, my full name is Abhay Nathani, but please just call me by my nickname, which is Abhi. Okay, good. Abhi is almost short for Abhay, so you could say that as well. Okay, it's very close. All right. Makoba says, my given names are Saifulayeva Makoba. My surname is Saifulayeva. Please just call me by my first name, Ma. Okay, so call you Ma for short, or maybe it didn't fit or you didn't type it. If you are called Ma, which is short for Makoba, just say, please call me Ma for short. Okay, and Saifulayeva are not your given names. If Saifulayeva is double, then yes, but if not, then it's your surname or your family name. Okay. All right, so careful with that, students. Make sure that you're clear and that you're not making any mistakes for these introductory questions that would just look really bad, because a band 7, 8, 9 candidate does not make mistakes when introducing themselves. So my full name is Alexander let's say Gabani. Please just call me Alex for short. Okay, so it doesn't have to be really long. Don't overspeak. Don't be unnatural, but definitely speak in a formal way. All right, this is not a chit chat. So just repeat after me. What is your full name? My full name is Alexander Gabani. Please just call me Alex for short. Okay, Alex, may I see your identification? That's the next question. They will ask for your ID. It's usually your passport. Sometimes a national ID works as well. And of course, it has to be the one that you used to register for the exam. Okay, so make sure that you have that with you. Otherwise, that will be the end of your interview and you'll get 0. Or you'll get 1, I think. You get 0 on the IELTS, by the way, if you don't show up. If you show up, I think you automatically get a 1. All right, Jainil says, yes, here is my passport that I used to register for the exam. Please have a look. Jainil, that's very clear, very nice. It's formal, it's polite. Star Hamayun says, yes, please. We generally start in natural English, do not finish statements with the word please, okay? If we finish a sentence with the word please, it means we're usually asking a request or confirming a request, like, may I have some water? Yes, please, okay? Or, sorry, would you like some water? Yes, please, okay? So that's how we do it. If somebody asked me, may I see your identification? I wouldn't say yes, please. That's awkward English. I would say, yes, please have a look. Or yes, here you go, please take a look. Okay, we don't really finish statements with the word please unless it's confirming some kind of a request, like, would you like some water? Okay, so you need to say it in a full sentence, like, yes, here is my ID that I used to register. Please have a look. Okay, so in most cases, especially in formal fluent English, we have at least some words after the word please. Pay attention to that. Okay, so yeah or yes, please, not so good. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. Now the examiner will say, okay, they'll take a look at it. Don't get weirded out. They look at your ID. They really stare at it. Okay, it's just like going across a border, going through customs. They want to make sure that you are who you appear to be. So they look at it, okay, and then they look at you, and then they look at it, and then they'll give it back to you, and they go, okay, thanks. Now we will continue with part 1. For part 1, I will ask you some more questions to get to know you and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study? Do you work or study? It's a very common question. It's a nice icebreaker. Amanjot says, well, recently I've completed my graduation and now I'm looking for a job. Nice, Amanjot. That's great. It's nice and fluent. Ferdovs says, currently, both of them. 6 months back, I'd been working only. From that time, I also have been learning English. Okay, for Dobbs, remember, past perfect means it's something that's only happening in the past. If you're still working, we would say that a little bit differently for Dobbs. So naturally, we would say currently both of them. I've been working for the past 6 months. But now I'm also learning English, or prior to 6 months ago, I had been just working, but now I've been working as well as learning English. So it's quite complex. Students, I definitely don't recommend answering the first few questions with highly complex English unless you are really confident that you are an expert user of the English language. Otherwise, keep these answers fairly clear, complete, but not overly complex, okay? So careful with that. For Dobbs, it's a good try for these classes, but be careful. Okay, it's a little bit awkward. All right. M. Verma Coding says, currently I'm working as a full stack engineer in a software development company, and I've completed my graduation recently. Verma, and I've graduated recently, okay? When you have a verb form, then use the verb form. You can graduate. Graduate is a verb. So I've graduated recently, not completed my graduation. It's awkward. I've completed my studies and graduated, or I've graduated recently, okay? Careful with that. Small difference, but it's still considered a mistake, and a native speaker, especially an examiner, will catch it and they'll go, it's a little bit off. Okay, so careful, careful. All right. Bekjan says, well, nice answer, Bekjan. Good use of the present perfect, clear grammar, and it's natural, very high level. Okay, as long as you say that fluently, it's a band 9. All right. Let's take a look at Romain. Romain says, I left my last job a few months ago and I'm currently looking for another one. In the meantime, I'm studying English. Very nice answer, Romain. That works. It's clear, it's coherent, it's original. Okay, you want to definitely come across as being original. All right, you don't want to sound like you're just regurgitating memorized answers. Mahi, 91 says, I'm both working and studying. I'm a bank manager and I'm doing an MBA in long distance learning in HR. Okay, as a distance course, we usually say long distance learning, Mahi, or online learning. Okay, something like that in HR. As a distance course, a little bit unusual. All right, so careful with that. Koala says, I've completed my graduation 2 years ago, and now I'm preparing for IELTS to continue my higher education. Just a couple of small corrections there, Koala, to make it more natural. At the moment, I'm both working as a teacher and I'm studying to get my certified British Council agent certificate, as I want to be able to help my students even more to succeed in their studies and life. All right. So here's my answer. Repeat after me. Do you work or study? At the moment, I'm both working as a teacher and I'm studying to get my Certified British Council Agent certificate, as I want to be able to help my students even more to succeed in their studies and life. All right, that's a good, complete answer. It's clear, it's specific. I'm giving a little bit of an explanation, like, why are you studying to get your British Council Agent certificate? Well, it's because if I have that knowledge, then I can give you even better help, not just for the IELTS, but even specific help for your university applications and moving abroad, and incorporate that into our company. So using the correlative conjunction that many of you are using as well, both and, it's nice to emphasize this. So in this case, when the examiner asks, do you work or study, and you're doing both, don't just say, I'm a student and an engineer. It sounds kind of flat and mundane. Correlative conjunctions, both and, help to emphasize important information. If you're both a student and an employee or a business owner, emphasize that. Okay, that's interesting. So use those correlative conjunctions. Okay, common question for these warm-ups. Where do you live? So get ready for that one. Oftentimes, the examiner will ask that right away. Where do you live? Where's your hometown? These kinds of questions are very, very common icebreakers, so practice them, practice answering them in many ways so that they're natural, okay? All right, Shiva says, I live in a small town, Tenali, in Andhra Pradesh, which is located in the south part of India. Shiva, that's great. To give it a little bit more quantity, also answer where you live specifically, like in an apartment, in a house, in a dormitory. So give a little bit more information. When you get this question about where do you live, think about kind of like Google Earth, the actual house, the region, the country, and then you will have a good, complete answer. Okay? All right. So, Satinder Singh says, I am residing in a rural area. In this area, there are great facilities like transportation and health care. Satinder, that's fantastic, but you still haven't told me where you actually live. If I had to find not just your house, but even your area, I have no idea where to look because you haven't named it. You've got to be specific. What's that rural area called? Okay, give me the name of it. All right. You want to be specific. Remember, students, good communication. IELTS is not just an English test. It's a test of communication. And good communication means that we know exactly what you're talking about, not kind of what you're talking about. That means specific and visual information. Okay. Milind says, I live in a house in Firozapur. It's a small town in Punjab, which is situated on the India-Pakistan border. It's famously known as the land of martyrs. Milind, that's a really nice answer, okay? And you've just stopped at the right point where you'd be kind of going off topic, so it's perfect, okay? You gave me the type of residence. You're in a house. You gave me the name of the place. And I could probably find it, Milind. So if I went to Firozapur and I'd say, I'm looking for Milind Kapoor's house, somebody might actually be able to get me there sooner or later. That's how you know that your answer is quite good. Okay. Toby says, I was born and brought up in Nigeria, Lagos state in particular. I reside there with friends in a 3-bedroom apartment. I lived there for 20 years in a very beautiful city. Yeah, very nice, Toby. That's a good answer. Again, I could probably find you, even though Lagos is quite big. If I asked around for a few days, I'm sure somebody eventually would point me in the right direction. Okay. Corazon Bolito says, I live on a small island in the Philippines called Panay Island. And the city name is Roxas City. My place is well known for being the seafood capital of the Philippines. Yum, yum. I love seafood. Great. Again, mention the residence, right? So I live in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 4th floor of a building which is situated next to the Danube River in the heart of Budapest, the capital of Hungary at the time. Otherwise, I live in a house in Victoria on the west coast of Canada, capital city of British Columbia. Okay, so here we go. Where do you live? I live in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 4th floor of a building which is situated next to the Danube River in the heart of Budapest, the capital of Hungary. If you were here and you asked around, you'd probably find me sooner than later. Okay? All right. So that's how you know that you're doing a good job with your answers. They're very specific, okay? And they're unique. It's what IELTS examiners are constantly looking for. Good quality, fluent, complete answers with explanations and examples. So now, the examiner might say, okay, let's talk about fruits and vegetables. Okay, so if you hear this, or when you hear this, fruits and vegetables, and of course you're concentrating, you're focused, what kind of ideas come to mind for fruits and vegetables? So if I use these words, this is kind of word association. What kinds of words come to mind when you hear somebody say, let's talk about fruits and vegetables? So Amanjad says, healthy for the body, delicious. Okay. Good for health, contains nutrients, minerals. Yeah. Okay, those are great. Vitamins, very good. Or as the British like to say, vitamins. Us Canadians say vitamins and Americans. British say vitamins. Okay. Flora says eco-friendly. Yeah, so environmentally friendly. Maybe some of you are vegetarian and only eat vegetables and fruits. Okay. Millen says places where I can buy them from. Yeah. What are places where you can buy them from, Millen? So instead of the question, think about the answer. So grocery store might come to mind, right? Market, farm or farm stand, right? Josh Karan says protein, sure. Some fruits and vegetables contain that as well. Samina says organic comes to mind. Okay. Maybe some dishes come to mind, like a fruit salad, right? Okay, high fiber, very good. So this is what should happen, okay? Immediately when the examiner introduces the topic of part one, you should kind of have these flashes of ideas, okay? For being able to answer not just specifically, but dynamically and in a broad way, okay? Flavors should come to mind like sweet, sour, bitter, okay? All of those different words for describing the flavors of fruits and vegetables. All right. So here we go. What is your favorite fruit? Okay, that could be easily the first question. What's your favorite fruit? Okay. All right. Flower Sun says, mango is the fruit I like most. Not only does it taste a little bit sweet and sour, but also combined with other fruits like bananas or strawberries, it makes an amazingly yummy fruit salad. Okay, Flower Sun, that's great. I twisted the end of it a little bit to my own diction and to make it more natural. Lydia says, I love eating different kinds of fruits such as grapes, watermelons, but I like avocados the most since I can make a tasty milkshake out of it as part of my dessert. Really, out of avocados? I've never tried that. As well as it contains a lot of vitamins and maybe protein as well. Okay. Yeah, avocado, one that most people don't think is a fruit, but indeed it is. It's a pitted fruit, meaning it has a seed in the middle. Muhammad Azad says, my favorite fruit is orange, not just for its good acidic taste, but also because it contains the important vitamin C, which keeps the immune system strong and acts as a catalyst for a lot of our metabolic processes. Absolutely. Okay. Ferdov says, my number one green grocery is watermelon, as it's not only tasty and sweet, but also beneficial for health. Yeah, I think most fruits and vegetables are beneficial for health. So in this case, if you want to go one step further and you know why it is, like vitamin C in oranges, then it's a good idea to mention that. It's rich. We say it's rich in vitamin D or rich in vitamin C or whatever vitamin it might contain. D actually not so much, but B vitamins, for example. Okay, let's take a couple more. Now make sure to answer specifically, okay? This one is, which is your favorite fruit? So this question's really only asking you for one fruit, okay? So don't start talking about all kinds of fruits and vegetables because that's not really gonna work well. Janelle says, well, I love juicy and sour fruits like strawberries and pomegranates. This morning I ate some strawberries for breakfast to give me some energy for the exam. Very nice, Janelle. I love how you realized, hey, why don't I throw an example in there? Okay, so the fruit I love more than any other are blueberries. Not only do they have a unique sweet and sour flavor that's to die for, but they also contain a lot of antioxidants that help to prevent cancer. I eat them at least 4 times a day, or 4 times a week with yogurt and oatmeal in the morning. In fact, I just had a bowl before this exam. Okay, and that's true. Blueberries definitely on the top of my list. Here we go, students. So what is your favorite fruit? The fruit I love more than any other are blueberries. Not only do they have a unique sweet and sour flavor that's to die for, but they also contain a lot of antioxidants that help to prevent cancer. I eat them at least 4 times a week with yogurt and oatmeal in the morning. In fact, I just had a bowl before this exam. Okay, so let me just quickly refresh and remind many of our regular students and tell our newer students why this would be considered a very high band answer, a band 9 answer. I'm paraphrasing the question. Favorite, I love more than any other. Blueberries, obviously a unique choice. Using a correlative conjunction, not only, but also. I'm using idiomatic expression here. Sweet and sour flavor that's to die for. When we say that's to die for, it sounds harsh, but it means that it's just amazing. Okay, to die for in this context means it's amazing. Okay, and it contains a lot of antioxidants. Obviously, for lexical resource, the examiner would love to hear this kind of a word, antioxidants. Okay, probably many of you are familiar with that. It means that the fruit contains certain types of vitamins and enzymes which decrease the oxidants in the human body that lead to cancer, so to help prevent cancer. And then here, I'm using some quantitative information. So I'm not only telling the person that, hey, it's my favorite fruit, blueberries, but also give them an idea of how much I really like them. I eat them 4 times a week with yogurt and oatmeal in the morning. And then quickly, I don't say for example, I just say, in fact, I just had a bowl before this exam. And that way, the examiner is super clear on my answer, and they can visualize it, and they can count how much I like it, and so they'll give me a great mark, okay? That's what you want to practice. Now, of course, don't overspeak, so don't just talk, but this is what you need to achieve when you want to get that really, really high band score, okay? All right. So, comes the next question. How often do you eat fruits? Okay, give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. So, how often do you eat fruits? All right, lots of answers coming up. It's fantastic. Aftab Sandu says, actually, I eat fruits every... Sorry, one more time, Aftab. Aftab says, actually, I eat fruits every day. I start my day by having an apple, and in the evening, I eat a different fruit every day. As I'm a vegetarian, I eat vegetables 7 days a week. Broccoli and spinach, not Spanish, spinach are my favorites. Okay, Aftab, that's a nice answer. That second answer would come, or the second question would come a little bit after. They wouldn't ask you both of those at the same time. Probably they would just start with how often do you eat fruits, okay? And answering every day is a good answer, okay? Aftab, here's a nice English expression for you when you're eating an apple every day. We will say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So you could say that, as an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Every kid, by the time they graduate kindergarten, will know this expression in English-speaking countries. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. So you could say, Aftab, actually, I eat fruits every day. I start my day with an apple, as an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Okay, so you can say that. All right, it's a good answer. Let's see some more. Lydia says, I eat fruits on a daily basis. Nice English. Twice or thrice a day during mealtime at 2 a.m. or even before at 10:20. In fact, vegetables just make up about 20% of my daily diet. Yeah, not 2 a.m., but 2 p.m., I think, Lydia, is what you're thinking. Okay, careful with that. Examiners catch even the smallest details. They're highly, highly trained, okay? Beckjan says, I eat fruits quite frequently, like every second day, because as I've just mentioned, I do sports. So it's the best time for me to eat 1 or 2 apples or bananas to get more energy. Yeah, Beckjan, good. A few corrections in the second half of your response there, right? Flora, Irene says, I'm a big fan of fruits and I eat them every day. As a matter of fact, eating fruits does wonders for my digestive system. Also, fruits like mango and banana really are delicious. Flora, that's good. Always take personal responsibility for your answer and your actions in part one, Flora. So don't say, as a matter of fact, eating fruits does wonders for our digestive system. Some people are allergic to fruit. Those people who are allergic to certain types of fruits, the fruits definitely do not do wonders for their digestive system. So in part one, Flora, the questions tend to just deal with you. They're first person subjective. So make sure to answer them first person subjective. Okay. So fruits do wonders for my digestive system. Okay. All right. I don't bloat. Bloating is when you kind of puff up and fill with gas. Okay. So I don't bloat and I have lots of energy and I don't feel heavy. Okay. When we eat certain types of foods, especially red meat, we can feel heavy. Okay. With fruits and vegetables, we feel light, not heavy. Okay. So those are the kinds of expressions that you can use. All right. Harshit says, sir, there's a lot of buffering. Yeah, Harshit, it's because there's over 350 people watching this, which is fantastic, but that means it's also loading some of the YouTube relays a little bit. And you have to be a bit patient, but I hope you are because there's lots of goodies coming still. Ranjit Kaur says, I eat fruits in the morning. In the winter, I eat apples in greater quantity, and in the summer, I eat more pomegranates and bananas to help me keep cool. Interesting, Ranjit. I didn't know those, but make sure that you also clearly answer how often, okay? I get your answer, but the quantity is not absolutely clear for me. Top in World says, actually, I frequently add fruit to my daily meals because they are good for my overall health and body. The role they play in my meals is just as crucial as that of protein and starch. Top of the World, make sure you don't say your meals, okay? Not my meals, your meals, okay? So, I eat fruits all the time. I would say that I eat at least 2 servings of fruit each day, as this keeps me fit and energized. As I had just said, I already ate a portion this morning, and I'm planning to have a pineapple fruit salad for lunch. Okay, if you've ever had a pineapple fruit salad, you know what I'm talking about. It's definitely yummy. Pineapple, pine and apple together. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I eat fruits all the time. I would say that I eat at least 2 servings of fruit each day, as this keeps me fit and energized. As I had just said, I already ate a portion this morning, and I'm planning to have a pineapple fruit salad for lunch. Okay, so notice how I use the qualitative all the time. All the time. Okay, well, what's all the time? Well, it means at least 2 servings each day. Okay, so I've mentioned this before for new viewers and students. Use qualitative language, that's subjective, followed by quantitative language, that's numbers. That leads to really clear communication. It's very effective. Use that in your daily life. You're going to see how well your communication develops with people around you. Okay, all right. So next question, how about vegetables? So how about vegetables? That means if you get this kind of question like, well, how about vegetables? It means compared to fruits or vegetables on their own, how often do you eat vegetables? Okay. An says, like fruit, I consume veggies every day, 7 times a week to make sure I have a clear mind and a healthy body. to be productive in my learning. Yesterday I had a spinach salad and it was superb. Really nice language. Your grammar and your vocabulary have really developed much over the last few months, and I love seeing that. I love seeing development in students. So fantastic. It's a really nice answer. Good paraphrasing on good use of qualitative, quantitative, good use of comparative language. So really good. Hi, Gurpreet. I see you. I see most everybody. All right, Juan Pablo Avila says, when it comes to vegetables, I eat them almost every day because I mix them with the meat in my meals. My doctor said I should eat cooked veggies often, so I'm trying to keep up with this diet. Last night, I had some roasted asparagus with a nice slice of steak. You're making my mouth water, Juan, even though I just had dinner. But sounds delicious. Okay. Roshni says, oh, I have vegetables on a daily basis because I'm a vegetarian, so I eat green veggies, tomatoes, and lactose every day. This is because it contains protein that helps strengthen my bones. Okay, Roshni, good. Lactose, we're going into dairy products, Roshni, so maybe stay away from that. Okay, so just as with fruits, I consume a lot of veggies, maybe not as much as fruits, since I'm a bit of a sweet tooth, but I certainly get at least one serving a day into my system. This evening, I'm planning to have excuse me. So, here we go. How about veggies? Just as with fruit, I consume a lot of veggies, maybe not as much as fruits, since I'm a bit of a sweet tooth, but I certainly get at least one serving a day into my system. This evening, I'm planning to have roasted veggies with my steak. Pardon my voice, my throat dried up. I should eat more fruit. I'll get it back. Just a sec. Okay, here we go. So, let's go to the next question. Where do you buy the most delicious fruits and vegetables? Next question. Here we go. My voice is back. Oh, I hate that. All right. Sonny says, drink water, sir. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Here we go. So, lots of answers. Good. Let me just pull out a few. Oh, it says, I usually buy both the fruit and vegetables from the local grocer or from local farms about 2 kilometers from my house. Very nice, Ois. Nice use of quantitative language. Well done. Chudhari007 says, actually, the fruits and vegetables I usually buy online through Amazon most of the time. I buy them near my home. Chudhari, it's a little bit confusing. You have to revisit the grammar and the word use in that sentence. Ferdov says, I've been purchasing the tastiest fruits and vegetables online these days as it saves me time to learn English. So Ferdovs, I'm guessing you have them delivered to your home. Which online store do you use? Okay, so again, be specific, students. You always want to sound unique. You don't want to just sound like the other guy. I'm sure with many students, when they ask this question, they're going to say, I buy it from the local grocery store or from the farm near my home, or I order them online. So add the name of the store. Okay, you can just make it up. I buy most of my fruits and vegetables from my local grocery store called Timmy's Corner Store. They have great fresh produce every single day that they get from the local farms. Okay, so sounds unique. All right. Harshana says, there's a big supermarket for fruits and vegetables near my home, only about half a kilometer away, and I can get fresh produce from there, not fresh stuff, Harshana. Never use the word stuff, okay? It's a very weak word in communication, so don't use the word things or stuff. Find the specific noun. In this case, it's fresh produce, okay? Pachu Yadav says, I eat vegetables too, like carrots and green veggies, because they are good for the eyes and health. Good, Pachu. I think that's for the previous question. Jacqueline Caroline says, I like to buy fruits and vegetables at a traditional market. Okay, Jacqueline, you want to give a little bit more information than that so that you get more marks for fluency and coherence. Lydia is asking, sir, when the question is about a place, should we include quantitative details about the place? Yeah, like how far it is. Absolutely, Lydia. So when it's a location, quantitative information is very useful. So I most often buy the best organic produce from a farmer's market about half a kilometer from my home, called Lehel Market. It's actually true if you're ever in Budapest. Lehel Market. Not only do they have a great selection which is grown at local farms, but they also have very good prices. All right, so here we go. Question, where do you buy the most delicious fruits and vegetables? I most often buy the best organic produce from a farmer's market about half a kilometer from my home, called Lehel Market. Not only do they have a great selection, which is grown at local farms, but they also have very good prices. Okay, and then stop there. Again, if you haven't for the last few questions, you might include an example here. It would be a good idea to include it. Like, I was there this Monday and I bought bananas, lettuce, tomatoes, avocados, and many more. Okay, so, and much more. All right, next question. I'm curious about this one. Which do you like to eat more, fruits or vegetables, and why? Okay, which do you like to eat more, fruits or vegetables, and why? Ferdov says, I love to eat veggies more than fruits, as vegetables in my region are cheap and delicious. Besides that, vegetables have more protein, similar to animal meat. Okay. Janil, you can improve your sentence formation by thinking about answer, explanation, example, thinking about how to connect those, and thinking about how to add more description to it using adjective clauses and adjectives and adverbs. Okay, so practice building your sentences. But you're already doing a good job being in this class and practicing. Okay? All right. Marvito says, thank you. Even though your email me can't join Zoom, there's still a plan B. I'm not sure what that's referring to, Marvito, but that's fine. 57, Shivanti says, well, I prefer to eat fruits over vegetables because they are much more simpler to eat, and because I have a sweet tooth, I love to eat fruits because it's on the sweeter side, and they're very tasty as well. Very nice, Shivani. I like how you're using some of the content from the lesson. That's fantastic. And you're right. They are a little bit simpler to eat. Oftentimes with veggies, we do have to cook them or prepare them in some way. Fruits, we can usually just bite into. So very nice. Okay, good quick thinking. Pinty Pop says, I would say fruits, as I'm a bit of a sweet tooth, and the variety is more when it comes to tasty fruits compared to tasty vegetables. Okay, Pinty, that's a good answer as well. So, more sweets. N says, I don't have an opinion on that. Come to think of it, I do have both fruits and vegetables frequently. Veggies for most of my meals, either breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Okay, N, you're going off topic. Students, if you have kind of a mixed opinion, you're like, well, I love fruits and I love vegetables. What do I say? Just pick one, okay? I love fruits more. They're sweeter, they look better, and I can just pluck it off the tree and start eating it right away. So don't sit on the fence, okay? It's not good in the IELTS and often in communication, in task 2 writing or in your speaking to kind of be neutral and be like, okay, well, this and this. It makes for confusing communication oftentimes, even if you have perfect English, and less exciting communication. So I highly, highly recommend N to just pick a side, okay? Even if it's not true. Even if it's not true, okay? So even if you like them equally. So, reflecting on our conversation at the beginning, I'm a bigger fan of fruits as I like their sweet flavor and juicy texture. I like how I can just grab an apple off a branch and bite right into it. Okay, that's because I already said that. So when you stay calm, you have a much better chance to remember what you've already talked about. I remember that I had said already to the examiner that I eat fruits more often because I like them more. So now I'm reflecting on that answer. Okay, so which do you like to eat more, fruits or vegetables? Why? Well, reflecting on our conversation at the beginning, I'm a bigger fan of fruits as I like their sweet flavor and juicy texture. I like how I can just grab an apple off a branch and bite right into it, okay? And even though that's true for some vegetables as well, I mean, you can pluck a nice red bell pepper right off of a vine and bite right into it as well, but IELTS examiners aren't going to judge your answers as long as they're clear and accurate, okay? Okay, next question. Let's do this. Here we go. If you could grow any fruit or vegetable, what would it be and why? Now, notice how this is getting more complex. It's a conditional. Use the question in your answer. Use the condition when you're answering, okay? So if you could grow any fruit or vegetable, what would it be and why? Okay. Sunny says, I have a dream to grow some veggies in my kitchen garden. If I get a chance, I would grow some peppers, onions, and potatoes. Okay, Sunny, nicely done. Yeah, it's an okay way, Sunny, that you're putting the condition at the end of the sentence. So if I get a chance, I would probably put that at the beginning. But yeah, it's a good answer, Sunny. I like it. Just make sure that you say that nice and fluently. Okay, Gitanj says, if I could grow any fruit, I would go for apples. This is because it's probably the most nutritious and one of my favorite fruits. Okay, Gitanj, nice use of the question. Good answer. Well done. Okay, practice that fluency. Juan Pablo says, I'm actually thinking about that. It depends on which season is right for each vegetable, but I'd like to grow carrots and avocados. I love carrots and avocados, and they're expensive in the market. So it'd be nice to just grow them in my backyard. Juan Pablo, very nice. Use the question, if I had a chance, or provided I have the chance, or as soon as I get the chance, when springtime comes and I get to plant some seeds, okay? Okay, Chadhari says, mango is my favorite fruit, and I come from a farmer background, and in my village, I have a mango orchard. I believe mangoes grow on trees. So when you have lots and lots of trees, it's technically not just a farm, but it's an orchard. Okay, so when you have a lot of fruit trees, everyone remember that it's called an orchard. All right, so okay. Now, aside from that, make sure that you're using the condition. So even if you have already some fruits and vegetables in your garden, this question is asking you if you could grow any fruit or vegetable, okay? So you have to try to answer that way. Het Patel, YouTube is not allowing your comment because it's recognizing it as spam, so try to ask it in a simpler way, okay? This would be my answer here. Given the chance to grow any fruit or veggie, I would love to produce my own passion fruit, as it is both delicious and beautiful. It would look great in my garden, and once ripe, I could make some tasty passion fruit juice. Oh, I love passion fruit juice. If anybody's had it, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Here we go, everyone. So if you could grow any fruit or vegetable, what would it be and why? Repeat after me. Given the chance to grow any fruit or veggie, I would love to produce my own passion fruit, as it is both delicious and beautiful. It would look great in my garden, and once ripe, I could make some tasty passion fruit juice. Okay. So, again, use the condition. Okay, use the condition. All right. So, here's one more question, and now you know the meaning of orchard. Okay. Have you been to an apple orchard? This is the final question. I'm going to leave this one for you to try on your own. You should use the present perfect when answering because it's present perfect. And tomorrow, everyone, we will start our task 2 writing with members, and that will be followed by a reading class for everyone, focusing on the reading section at this time, starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Central Eastern Standard European Time. And for those of you who like this lesson, check us out at aehelp.com. Join our premium package there. And for general IELTS students, check us out at gieltshelp.com. Join us there. Remember to eat your fruits and vegetables. They really are healthy. Good for the environment, good for you, good for everyone. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. You're very welcome, Surya Batir. Goodbye. You're very welcome, Het Patel. You can always send me an email, Het, if I didn't get to that question of yours. Toby, awesome. Back at you. Thank you. Much love to all of you. Take care. Hopefully I will see most of you, if not all of you, tomorrow. I'm Adrian, signing out from Budapest. Bye for now.